Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dreams. To join the conversation, drop your comments in the chat. And then if you want to be a panelist, I'll be dropping the link in the chat room as well so you can join us in this discussion and we can chop it up together. With that being said, I want to welcome my main man, H2O, who's in the building. We'll get others. We may not get others in the building. We have to understand that today is a special day for many of us. In terms of our mothers and stuff like that. So we definitely have to respect that and recognize that as well. But with that being said, we are going to continue. We're going to move forward, and I'm going to introduce H2O to the house. How you doing, brother? And take it away. Kick us off.
All right. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, Nick Nation, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and all the husbands who have mothers and wives who are mothers. Here we are once again at the end, almost at the end of yet another season. And much to our surprise, I kind of like don't want to use the word surprise, but let's say much to our pleasure, the Knicks are relevant. The Knicks are relevant. We're at the end of the season and the Knicks are relevant. Not just relevant, fourth place. Fourth place, and with the possibility of either solidifying fourth or making it so that they don't fall to seventh, which is important. I think no matter where they land, we're still landing in a much better place than we did last year. Okay, I think we surpassed our wins by about 12 or 15 games. What did we win last year? 20, 23,
21.
21, and we're up to 37. So that makes it 16 games over what we won last year. And that alone gives us reason to hope for the future of this franchise. We surprised a lot of people, especially ourselves. Okay. I'm quite sure that on that board on opening day, Tibbs didn't say 39 and 18. I know he didn't write that on the board. So the expectation was, let's just take it one game at a time. Maybe, I don't know if he said that, but in my book, it was let's just take it. Uh, you know. As a matter of fact, we did go through the first 10 games of the season, if I'm not mistaken. We were talking with Santana way back in the beginning, and even with Dream, and we were talking about if they could be 8-2 or whatever in the first 10 or 12 games, 8-2, 8-4. The possibilities of them being, and they didn't quite make that goal. But then after that, they kicked it into another gear, and all of a sudden they started winning a lot of games. So yes, I am, as a fan, a long suffering fan of the New York Knicks, I am pleased beyond anything that I can imagine or dream of. Nick dreams. So Nick dreams has become a Nick reality. So with that, I'm going to give it back to Santana, and then we'll talk about the games.
Yeah. So thanks, H2O. I mean, I know we did have that conversation at the beginning of the season, and I did feel, and I think we pretty much agreed that we did expect them to improve. I mean, we felt that coming into the season, the new coach, the new regime, was gonna, get the team headed in the right direction, and maybe and I think it's pretty accurate to say now that other than just putting us in the right direction, they've exceeded that expectation because they not only righted the ship, but now they've positioned the ship to the point that they're currently a fourth seed in the Eastern Conference, which is a feat in it of itself, which is awesome. That's an awesome accomplishment. Of course, the season isn't over. It's not a static thing right now. We have to wait until the season is over to really see where we end up. But, to even be in the running for fourth seed, that's saying a lot. So that's a tribute to the franchise. That's a tribute to the coaches, and of course the players that bought into this new regime and really execute it. Of course, there's going to be highs and lows. They're still learning as they're going along, and they hopefully they can close out the season with a couple of more wins to lock in the
Mm-hmm.
playoff, berth, and potentially the fourth seed.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, like you said, we don't want to get below six, because then we have to go into the play-in and stuff like that. And not to say that that's a bad thing, but with so much that we've accomplished, we want to hold where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we make sure that we're in a position to compete in the playoffs. And then when we get to the playoffs, whatever happens, happens. So with that being said, let's talk about the Denver game and get your take on it, man. What were your thoughts? I'll give you my thoughts. I mean,
Okay.
I saw it and I saw that first half, and then I tried to look into the third quarter, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I felt that they weren't gonna be able to pull it, and unfortunately they didn't. You know what I mean? And what can I say? The Joker, he came out, he proved himself.
Mm-hmm.
He proved himself to be the MVP that he is. Maybe he was trying to make a statement. Only he knows that. But I thought that the Knicks would have made more adjustments to try to minimize his impact. And even though most of his impact was in the first quarter, that's all it took. That's what it took to beat us. And unfortunately, they ended up beating us. So go ahead, H2O, take it away.
Well, I agree with everything that you said with regards to that game. However, they had a game after that. Remember, we played the Suns after that.
The Suns, the Suns.
That's
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
the
sorry.
game
I'm
that,
sorry.
that you wanted to refer to, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. And
yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to make any excuses for the Knicks in terms of that game. Okay. However, when you out players, and Quigley was not playing, and Burks was not playing, uh, and that makes a difference sometimes, because that makes at least 2/5 of our bench. And if you look back on most of the wins that we have this season, the bench has given us that boost in scoring, that punch. And sometimes it's like, it's been ridiculous. You want to get yourself, you want to get at least 15, maybe 15 points apiece from these fellas. If one of them can get 20, but you can get 30, between 25 or 30 and 40 points from the bench from these two guys. That makes a world of difference in the outcome of the game. So, like I said, not trying to use that as an excuse, but that definitely impacted the score. Okay, whether they would have scored 2 points or they would have scored 20 points, no one really knows. But I think I have a feeling now. It's just a feeling that CP3 it's got an extra little chip on his shoulder over the fact that we didn't go strong enough for him. I don't know why he chirping at our coach and getting into it with people, and Taj and him Taj had to, like, throw him to the ground. Um, and in the last game, as a matter of fact, I heard the announcers talk about that the Knicks circled this game, this date, to go back. And I remember when Bill Stradamus was talking about the big payback, and I think that's what was in their mind, the big payback, and maybe that took them out of sync. It took them off their game. Like, you can't go in there with a revenge factor. You gotta concentrate, man. These wins are important, and there was a lot of times where, and they were up They were up at one point again, and they let these guys just. And the guy that kills us, it wasn't really Booker, okay? It wasn't even Chris Paul. It was Jay Crowder. All of a sudden, he became an all-star again, and he's throwing up three-pointers from everywhere. And that was basically the difference in the game. We couldn't hold him down. Uh, DeAndre Ayton, the last game, I think we held him down to under 20. This time he gets 26 and 15 rebounds. Uh, we are, again, have been exposed at the center position. And that is a critical position for us moving forward. And I think we're going to be able to address it in the future. We're going to have to address it in the future because that's one of the area of weakness that we have. Um, Listen, they outscored us, they out hustlers, they outstat us, but it wasn't even that big. We shot 45%, they shot 46%. From three-pointer though, we shot 11 of 32, which is 34%. They shot 18 of 41, and a lot of those shots came from Jay Crowder. Rebounding was the same. Offensive rebounding, assists was the same. Blocks was the same. Steals, they had more steals than us. I think we gave them the ball. We turned the ball way too much, and we committed too many personal fouls. But again, you know, uh, we outscored them in the first quarter. We outscored them in the second quarter. Then the third and the fourth quarter, they punched us in the mouth. And the reason was because they ended that second quarter with that little run, that mini run, where they almost tied the game again. Uh, this is 66, and we had 63. 63, no, we had 63, and they have 56. So, but it was just a lousy game, a lousy second half.
Yeah.
That's what else to say.
So this is the thing. I mean, the point that you were making in terms of the mental approach into the game, where they had circled the calendar on this particular day, and then of course the expectation was that they were going to bring it out in Phoenix, and maybe that approach didn't work for them potentially. I think the Chris Paul and Taj Gibson issue started when Chris Paul was trying to box out Taj Gibson. But there's a way to box out people
Right,
without potentially hurting them.
right.
And I think what Chris Paul in the highlight that I saw, what Chris Paul tried to do was box him out, but Taj Gibson wasn't planted on the floor. He was up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's dangerous. That's why I think Taj Gibson reacted the way he did. And I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm just saying, I know in playing basketball in the past, that's the worst thing that you want to do when a guy is, off his feet in the air and you're gonna cut him from under.
Submarine him.
Exactly.
You
That,
know,
that's a problem.
threw
And
his butt out underneath him like that, and it's like, yo, what you doing? And then
exactly.
Chris Paul didn't want to up to that. He
Yeah.
wanted to make it so like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean,
yo,
we saw that between Charlie Ward and PJ Brown
okay,
back in the day when
and they
PJ
couldn't
Brown
defend.
was in Miami. You know what I mean? So, you never do that. You never do that. And the thing with Chris Paul, he's a very smart player, shrewd player too, very, very shrewd. He knows better. You know what I mean? You're a veteran, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's wrong. I understand that he likes to get in other players' skin and get them off their game. I understand the mental game. I get that. But there's a fine line that you don't cross, and that's the point of hurting somebody. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
when you can hurt another player. You know what I mean? When you cut their legs off,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. In the
Mm.
playground, man, that's a problem.
That's definitely can turn into a fight.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in it, just to put it bluntly, that's a dirty play.
Yeah.
That's a dirty play.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in professional sports, they all belong to the same fraternity, man. You have to look out for each other. We're not out here to hurt each other. We know that this is we all got a job here to do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do our job, but we're gonna keep it clean. And
Yeah.
we're not gonna try to intentionally try to hurt each other. We're
Yeah.
gonna not a career ending situation here.
Right.
That could be career ending
Yeah.
when you do something like that. And it
Hmm.
does happen every once in a while, but I don't think that Chris Paul, I think that in this situation, maybe I'm taking more of an exception to it because it was done to one of the players on the team that I'm, a fan of. But he knows better, man. He knows better.
He knows better. He knows better. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's off limits. And of course that that sets a tone moving forward the rest of the game. You know what I mean? Again, Taj Gibson reacted. He pushed them and stuff like that. And of course, Chris Paul he acted.
He
You
flat
know what I mean? He
flop.
overreacted. But all that does is it stirs the pot up, and
Mhm.
you know that's where, as a team, are we mentally strong enough to play that kind of game? You know what I mean?
Play through that.
To play through that and play, yes, we want them to be good defensive teams. You know what I mean? A good defensive team and have the mental fortitude to withstand the physicalness that comes with that. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I think that's where you have to draw the line where people on the brink of getting hurt. And that's where Chris Paul he took advantage of that and he used that and it hurt our team. Hopefully, as a result of it, I'm glad it happened. I'm not glad that it happened at all, but if it happened, it's better that it happened now so that at least they know, okay, if we're in a situation like this, we can't react to it or it's going to throw us off our game. And
Right.
then we don't get back to concentrating, like you said earlier, concentrating on executing, on winning the game, as opposed to retaliating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully they can get out of this. I mean, I was disappointed that they lost by the margin that they lost. I expected them to play so much better. I expected them to make adjustments. I expected them to win that game. You know what I mean? Uh,
Right.
but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and I think it is because of a few contributing factors. And one of those was that issue that you know that threw them off. I think that threw them off mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. They were totally out of the game. I mean, so much so that after the half, they only scored 25 points. I mean, not only that's a good score, 25 points in the third quarter, but they allow 34. And then they only scored 17 in the fourth quarter after all of that mayhem happened, and they allowed 38. So yes, it took them out completely out of their game. Um, they played a decent game. They played a game that could have won on average any other game, except for the fact that if you're gonna score so poorly in the fourth quarter, then you also have to play better defense. So it's okay that you don't score that much, but you can't let them double you up. And that's what happened. They scored 38. We scored 17 in that fourth quarter. And I remember me saying that we need to play defense in the fourth quarter. Okay, and we played defense in the first quarter, and we played defense in the second quarter, and we let them off a little bit on the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter we played no defense at all. They just ran them up, and like I said before, the guys that ran them up were those um their second unit. It was Jay Crowder, it was Payne, okay, it was Kaminsky. Okay, those three guys alone gave me what about 45 points, and that was the game. Um, Again, I had them possibly losing that game. I'm not fooling myself in these last few games. Uh, I know the games that I know that they should win and could win and possibly will win. But the last two games were not one of them. Okay, the Nuggets and the Suns, they are in what? Spurs second and third. Jazz is in first. The Nuggets are in fourth, and the Suns are in second. The Clippers are in third. So now these are three critical games, and if they pull that game against the Clippers today, um, it could set them on a nice, um, journey towards the end of this season, man. Because this will really like revive their energy, their enthusiasm. Um, and if they don't, it's okay because those are the three teams, the best three teams, or three out of the four teams in the West. There's a reason why they're 45 and plus wins, and so that this is who we measure up against. These are the guys that we say, well, maybe we're not there yet, but we're with them for 3 quarters. Mental lapses, poor shooting, poor decision making, turnovers, missing offensive rebound and giving them second chances. All of those are the things that make the difference between 48 wins and 37 wins. And,
Yeah.
and, and again, even though what you call it, he came and showed up in the second half. I think in the first half he did very poorly.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, going into the Clippers games, because let's transition into that now.
Okay.
You know, the Clippers, in my opinion, they have a very loaded team, and they have depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see that's going to be such a tough game for the Knicks. I think. I mean, Knicks played them well the first time that they played against them. We didn't win, but this time they're even better than they were when we first played them.
When we played them the last time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, they brought in Rondo. Rondo's,
Okay.
Patrick Beverly's healthy again. Reggie Jackson is playing, so they got 3 guards there
Okay.
that are all healthy and they're all playing well.
Yes.
Okay. Then they also got Boogie Cousins. They signed him for the rest of the season. Okay.
Yes.
And he's backing up the center. I forget his name.
Well, no, because Sergio Ibaka is out.
No, it's not Sergio Ibaka.
Zubac.
Zubac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zubac. Yeah,
Ibaka.
he's a big guy. He's a big
Because
guy.
I
He
thought
plays well.
Ibaka and Cousins.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, we're gonna have our hands full, and then we haven't even talked about PG, and we haven't even talked about the Claw. I'm bringing up the other guys and Morris and stuff like that. This is what I see. I see the depths in that team, and on top of that, PG's playing good basketball.
Yeah.
He's out of his head because in the bubble he was not all there. And then Ty Lue, I guess he's been able to, he's still in the honeymoon phase with this team because they're
Yeah.
playing for him. They're not tuning him out. They're going out on the floor. They're executing. They're playing good basketball. They play both sides of the ball. So I see a tough game. I see a tough game today. If we are lucky to win, I'll be glad, but I'm not truly expecting that. Not today, not against this team, and with the type of depth that this team has. Go ahead, brother. Right.
Okay. I give you all of that. I still and I agree with you. First of all right, let's get that out the way. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough win. I don't want to even go as far as saying we'd be lucky to win, but because any given Sunday, anybody could have a bad day, and that's part of the game, And so I am also hoping for some of the guys who have a bad game because you're right. If George comes out and he's got a good game, and DeMarcus Cousins comes out, he has a good game, and Patrick Beverly comes out and he starts hounding us, and Zubac it kills us on the boards, and Marcus Morris starts shooting threes, and Luke Kennard starts, earning his pay, okay? And Reggie Jackson, listen, they are, like you said, loaded. They are 1 through 10 loaded. 1 through 10. Ray John Rondo, I think they're saving him for the play. Oh no, he did play the other night.
He's been playing. He's been playing.
But
He's been
Ibaka,
playing, brother.
Ibaka is out. Ibaka, I
Yeah,
think.
Ibaka's out, but
Luke Kennard, well, yeah, I saw him on the floor too. But
mhm.
man, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Batum 9, 10.
Yeah, but Tune
Hey,
is
1 through
he a
10.
solid player too.
They got 1 through 10, man. They got two starting squads. They got two starting squads anywhere, man. You know, they could be their second unit could be playing for the Bulls and starting for the Bulls. Anyway, the point of the matter is that yes, with all due respect to my team, they have a tall mountain to climb today. There's no question, no doubt about it. What they need to do is just play to their strength, play their defense for the fourth quarter, and relax, loosen up the offense. Don't do the one-on-one. Don't give it to Randall one-on-one. Swing the ball and let the ball come right back to Randall for a shot that he doesn't have to dribble and work into it, because that's when our offense stagnates. It's when one person has to dribble and work for his shot. Meanwhile, like if you swing it in and you swing it out and you swing it to the left and you bring it back and you turn it around and you hit the corner, bang, there's an uncontested shot. Make or miss, it's an uncontested shot, and that's what we need. You just can't get into the chest of somebody. And of course, it's good when Rose comes in there and he's attacking the basket. That's all. His first thing is to attack the basket, and then eventually he takes a couple of jumpers from the outside. But I love his game, and again, all we have to do is stay with this team. Let's make this competitive. Let's not let this be another blowout. Okay. We don't, we at least have to come out of there with our heads high and our respect and our dignity intact. Okay. Other than that, I really didn't think that these three games were going to be these three were going to be my three losses on this road trip. Okay. It started out with the
Grizzlies.
it started out with the Grizzlies, and then the Rockets. I think it was right. The Grizzlies, the
Yeah,
Rockets,
and the Rockets. Yeah,
the
those
Rockets,
two games. Yeah,
and then 1, 2, 3 losses, and then the Lakers. So that would have been 3 wins and 3 losses. On this road trip, and then we come home and we try to handle the business. Try to handle our business at the crib, as Bill Stradamus likes to say. So yeah, I think if I would have picked three, how these games were going to go, I definitely would have said Nuggets, Suns, Clippers. Those were going to be the 3 losses on this trip, and so that if we lose, it's not a major disappointment. Unfortunately, the Hawks are right behind us, and we need to keep pace with them. They're 37 and 31. If we lose tonight, we'll be 37 and 31. But I think we beat them in the head-to-head, so that keeps us in 4th place.
right. For the moment, yeah. But you see, this is the thing. I mean, you said a lot of stuff there. I'm trying to unpack one of them. In terms of the Knicks and the Clippers, I mean, yes, I didn't expect, a, a winning road trip. If we get to 500, I'll be happy. No problem with that. But with the Clippers itself, I think the point that you made regarding them coming out and actually, at least playing a team game, not just going playing this ISO ball, because this ISO ball will automatically, quicken the game. We don't need to quicken the game. We need to slow down the game. And the way you slow down the game is you make the extra pass, you work the clock, as opposed to you get isolation players coming out there and just shooting it the minute they think they're open, as opposed to work the ball. So if we're gonna give ourselves any chance whatsoever to play against the Clippers and even beat the Clippers, that's what we're gonna need to do, because we can't get into a run a track meet with them, and we can't go playing iso ball and think we're gonna win that way, because that's not gonna benefit us. So I totally agree with you. I'm hopeful that they approach it from that perspective. But with that being said, I know Bill Stradamus has joined the stream, so I want to just open it up for him and have him, share his thoughts on what he thinks, either today's game, the previous game. The floor is yours, brother. Rock.
Salute, brothers. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Um,
Salute.
Basically, I know you guys were, talking about the last game, and with that last game, it was just we were done in by a better team. That's it. With today's game, it's not going to be easy at all. I agree with you that we cannot try to run with these guys or try to play that one-on-one type of ball. We have to do what got us to this point, which is defense, and the offense will follow. Turnovers, box out, rebound, transition D, always with us. They like to get out and run. However, they have a great half court offense as well.
Mm-hmm.
What we're going to have to do is play together, play more team oriented, as opposed to feeling that Randall or Barrett or even Rose, that any one of them are going to just win the game for us. It's not going to happen that way. Basically, it's what's the deal with Quick and Burks? Are they playing?
I'm looking that up right now.
Okay. Hopefully they are. That'll give us a better chance to win. If they're not playing, then it's going to be that much harder. However, like I said, we share the ball, limit our turnovers, play.
You're breaking up, Bill.
Especially the ending of that third quarter. And, don't want to, rub salt in anybody's wounds that may be on here, who may be feeling that I'm going to just come out here and jump on their main man. I'm not. He has to have his head in the game more so and better than he did in that last game.
Oh, you mean
Again, defense, rebound, and we give ourselves the best chance to at least compete. With that being said, where am I going?
right here?
H2O.
Where am I going to?
H2O.
H2O.
He's freezing, but go ahead.
It's frozen.
I'm gonna just go up there.
That was your radio there, Bill Stradamus, right?
Go ahead, H2O.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill. I guess there was no need for you to play the James Brown tune, huh? No James Brown for us. The big payback.
Yeah,
anyway, throwing shade on my man RJ, because he made a couple of at least one mental mistake by throwing the ball inbounds from under the basket. I understand all of that happened, gave them some momentum, and Payne stole the ball and made that shot. But a lot of things happened in that situation. First of all, nobody got back to get the first rebound when Booker missed. if we would have gotten that rebound, the rest wouldn't have happened. Second of all, RJ got 23 points and 8 rebounds. And Randall got 24 points and 11 rebounds. So there might have been some mental lapses in other areas, and I give you that. 100%. You know, you got to play a complete game. It isn't enough just to give me 24 points and 8 rebounds. You got to be in, your head got to be in the game, especially on defense and in those little plays that, you know, turn the tide and turn the, you know, give the other team momentum. So yes, I give you that 100%, man. You know, he was mental, and he sat down. Don't forget, Tim sat him down after that, okay, and brought him back again in the fourth quarter. Even though the game was already decided, because well, they outscored us 34-25 in that quarter, and they were already ahead. So the rest of the way, they outscored us 38-17. But either way, you know, like I said before, you're absolutely right. Just offensive numbers isn't the whole story. He kind of like, you know, and he's going to the basket but coming up short. There was a couple of times where he drove to the basket, got to the rim, and missed, and then complained about a foul. It's not about the foul. You're not there to pick up fouls. You get to put the ball in the hoop, man. He should be able to jump a little bit higher. I don't know if maybe, you know, I don't know. Is he getting tired? I don't know. Because you get to the basket and then you don't have enough energy to jump up over the basket. They should be over the rim. He's like under the rim, and that's why he's getting his stuff blocked. But at any rate, like you said, they came up against a better team. Not only a better team, but a player who wants to make sure that we understand that he is the best point guard in the league, and that, you know, he can will his team to win over us. And that man is CP3. Okay, at 34, 38, or 108, I don't know how old he is right now. He's still teaching. He's still got enough skills to, you know, take over a game. And that's what he did. He took over the game, especially when he did that dirty play against Taj Gibson. Okay, and threw us off our game right there, man. I was talking to Santana, and him and I agreed that they threw us completely off our game over the fact that, you know, yo, you undercutting me, man. What you trying to do? You know, you going for my knees. This is my livelihood. And then so this guy went at him, and, you know, if it was in the 80s, I think the benches would have cleared. But we don't have that no more, unfortunately or fortunately. So yeah, that's it, man. We're going into another game here tonight, and as you asked, I looked, and yes, Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quigley will not be suiting up today. So you can write your score right now and feel confident that the Clippers are going to win this game. And now, as I am saying that, I am also in my mind going, wow, if only I were wrong, you know? If only these guys really showed up short-handed and put it to the Clippers. What a message would that send? I mean, they'll be the talk of the NBA tomorrow. All the papers will be like selling extra copies of the newspapers just to read that story. So I think Bill kind of cut off. He's coming back. So yeah, we are shorthanded, and we're just gonna have to do the best we can to stay up with this team. That's as far as I see. So take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, look, this is not, you know, again, the best chance that the Knicks have to win this game is they got to play very disciplined basketball, limit possessions, and execute, play solid D. Unfortunately, I don't see it. Not in this game, not against the Clippers. They most likely the Clippers are coming in with a full deck, with the exception of you know, Ibaka, with the exception of him. And they've been playing well without him. You know what I mean? He's just another guy that adds depth to that team. But and I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem being wrong if the Knicks win. I welcome being wrong if
Yes.
the Knicks win.
Please.
You know what I mean? But I have to be realistic, and that is I don't see them winning this game tonight or this afternoon because then they don't have the players to match up. They don't have the depth. And in order for us to play or win this game, everything has to fall right for us and things got to go wrong for them. And that's wishful thinking. So I'm not going to do that. But that's okay. With that, let me drop it down to Bill Stradamus so he could give us his take on what he thinks against the Clippers tonight or today.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't see it happening. However, if we were to win, those are the things that we have to do. Limit our turnovers, move the ball, et cetera, et cetera. And they're not as shorthanded. You know, the pendulum swings heavily over to their side with regard to this afternoon's game.
Yeah.
I want them to go out there and give us a 48-minute effort and not a
Yeah, Bill is coming in and out.
Yeah, I think he's on the road.
Yeah. Okay, take it away. Hey.
Okay, so anyway, listen. Again, this game is it's like if they are going to play all their players, then
I don't have much more to say other than that.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it back up top to H2O.
All right, thank you, Bill. You were breaking in and out there for a minute, but we got more or less the gist of what you were trying to tell us. They need to play for 48 minutes. And I think we were also discussing the same situation, which is we just want them to be competitive. Okay, win or lose doesn't matter. Gain your respect. Walk out of there with your head held high. Don't go over there with your head handed to you. And that's all that really matters today. Okay, what we have to do is do better in the next 5 games that we got left. I think we have Lakers, Spurs, Hornets, and Celtics. Those are the ones that we have to be more of. We have a better chance of winning, and we need to win because the Hawks got a very easy schedule. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to win every one of their games, but they only got the Wizards, the Magic, and the Rockets. Hello. It's like the NBA is trying to give them an easy way towards the 4th spot. Now, I don't know how this happened because these things are planned way well in advance, but why they get such a light schedule and we get our most difficult schedule at the end of the season.
Well, the Wizards aren't necessarily an easy dub nowadays.
Right.
Thank you.
I was watching them yesterday. They beat the Pacers in overtime.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been playing well. They've been playing well lately.
Yeah. And in that game, I don't know what happened because I didn't see the whole game, but I saw that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, H2O.
No, go ahead.
I saw Bradley Beal at the end of the game, he wasn't in there. So I was saying he must have fouled out or something.
Oh,
and
got hurt.
I don't know what he was hurt.
He got hurt. He scored 50.
He scored 50 and then got hurt. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But what I saw down the stretch, it was all Russell Westbrook to the fact, and I didn't even like how he was playing because he just had the ball in his hand. He took every last shot. He took a couple of last shots and missed them. But then he was lucky. He had the ball. They're down 2 with under 10 seconds left, and he's going to drive. And so the double team came, and I figured he would just pass it to the open man. He did. He did some type of – he shot it real quick and ended up getting a foul call.
Oh, he got.
And then he dropped the 2 free throws. They went into overtime, and then it was still him. Right. He was just shooting. He ended the game with a triple-double, 30 plus points, about 19 rebounds, and a lot of assists. So he had one of his typical Westbrook games, and I believe he tied Oscar Robertson for the most
Triple double.
Yeah.
doubles.
In a
Oh,
Right.
career. Yeah.
So he'll pass that record, and then some within these last. I don't know how many games they have, but I'm pretty sure he'll get at least another 2 triple doubles before the season is out, and he'll be the #1 triple double getter in NBA history.
okay.
So
The other thing
yeah,
is that they're 7-3 in the last 10 games, so they've been playing
okay,
very good basketball. And,
Okay.
yeah,
and
yes,
even before this, that 10-game, snapshot, they have been playing good, very good basketball. So they're not an easy out for the Hawks. And you said HCO they play them twice.
Yeah, they play the Hawks twice, back to back. Back to
okay.
I think it's tomorrow night. Let me see. Let me go back here to the
But
stand.
but you said this kid got hurt though.
Yeah, well, it's a hamstring. He tweaked a
Oh,
hamstring.
that's not good. That's not good.
Okay. So, yeah, that's not cool at all. Okay. So they still, but still, like, ah, all you can pray for is that Russell Westbrook go off on them. Because I don't know that he can come back from a hamstring and drop another 50 on anybody, So, but that's what happened. The Wizards got the Hawks tomorrow. I mean, the Hawks got the Wizards tomorrow and on Wednesday. So they're going back to back Monday and Wednesday. Okay. So we unfortunately, like I was talking to my other son, Akil, and now he says, well, you can't hope for the other team to do this. I said, I gotta pray for both. I gotta pray for my team to continue winning and for the other team to lose too, because I gotta stay out of the 7th spot. I gotta stay out of the 7th. I even gotta stay out of the 6th spot, because you know who the 6th spot has to play? The Bucks. So I want a competitive first round that I got a strong possibility of winning, and that is Knicks Hawks. Knicks Hawks, 5 or 6. I mean 4 or 5. I gotta be 4 or 5. It doesn't matter, but I don't want to be 6, and I definitely don't want to be 7th. So yeah, we have a work cut out for us. I think this is going to be the best coaching job that Thibs is going to have to do in this last 4 games, because he's going to have to coach or a couple of those wins, whether it's the Spurs and the Lakers or the Hornets and the Celtics. He's going to have to coach one of those games to a win.
At least 2.
At least 2. I think the Celtics and the Spurs. The Hornets and the Lakers they got AD, but I don't know. They're talking about LeBron may or may not play on Tuesday. But regardless, I mean, yeah. So now that's 3 tough ones. It's the Clippers, the Lakers, the Spurs, and the Celtics are 3 tough games. And like you said, he has to win 2 of those. Nice. He has to coach. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Miami is beating. Sorry about that.
The Celtics.
Yeah.
So, Bill, what's your take, brother?
Well, with the rest of the season, after today's game, which I don't think we're gonna get, we could get the what is it? 4 games left?
Yeah.
I think we can get all 4 of them.
1, 2, 3.
I think we can get the Lakers. We can definitely get the Spurs, the Hornets, and the Celtics. I think we can get all 4 of them.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, if we get 3, then see how many wins do we have? 37?
37.
37. I want to hit 40. So that I'm being greedy.
Okay.
I'm being greedy. I want us to get 40 wins for the season. That'll give us what, a 40-32 record?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But and that will take only 3 of the 4 of the next 4. And I'm thinking we can get all 4. But if we do the same thing that we did to get us this to the position that we did now. Defense, defense, defense. I know we sound like a broken record, but however, that's what you have to sound like, because that is our best chance at making any type of noise in this playoffs. If we stick at the 4th spot and whoever we got in the 5th spot, it ain't gonna be a cakewalk. It's gonna be our defense that predicates whether or not we're gonna win that series, and also our health. Hopefully, we'll be at full strength. Minus maybe Mitch, but if Mitch can come back, we might have to see what he can do in certain spots.
Yeah,
That's
but I don't think that Mitch is coming for the regular season.
No, not for the regular season. No. But I'm saying for the playoffs, he may or may not, be able to go. But I just want us to be healthy enough to give ourselves a chance. If we're healthy and we stick to our defensive first mantra, then I think we can at least win that first round, whether we're 4th or 5th. But with that being said, it is definitely not going to be easy, and it's not going to be a lock. And I don't want our fan base to just feel that once we get the 4 or the 5 spot, that whoever it is that we play, that's an automatic win for us, because it's not. We're going to have to apply ourselves, and Coach Tibbs, he's going to have to do some real deal coaching. He's going to have to do some real coaching, and the players are really going to have to have a mentality that we haven't seen around here in a good 7-8 seasons, because we haven't done anything in the last 7-8 seasons. So therefore, we have to, use these last 5 games, including today's game, as I guess you could say playoff practices. We got to keep pace, establish and keep pace, I should say, in every single game, every single one, regardless of who the opposing point guards are or who the opposing team is. Like even with today, as Santana was saying earlier, don't try to get into no running gun or shooting it out with those guys. They clearly have a better team than we have, and therefore we have to win by committee. We can't afford to try to go back and forth with them and let either Barrett or Bullock, or not Barrett or Randall or Rose try to hero ball us to victory.
No.
That's not going to get it.
That's right.
Move the ball around, rebound, slow the whole movement down. Just like playoff ballers, slow everything down. And like I said earlier, the Clippers are good at that. They have a nice half court offense. However, they can also run. They can get out there and run, especially when you got Rondo at the point, or even if Jackson is running the one.
Yeah.
Either one of them. They like to both get out and run, but they're smart about it. They do it in certain situations where it's not wearing down the team. It's being cognizant of what the defense is giving you, and when you can just hurry up and get you some easy baskets by running. And so we're going to have to start playing in that realm also. We're going to have to take possession by possession and, of course, take what the defense gives you. However, we're going to also have to make adjustments for when the defense is all over us, which is definitely bound to happen. And we can see some of that today because the Clips are a pretty good defensive team. Well, or should I say they have good defenders on their team.
Yeah. Starting with
I don't know where they rank.
Patrick Beverly too.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly, Kawhi, PG-13. Those guys they're good defensive players.
Yeah.
Ibaka, even though he's not there, those are all good defensive players on that team. So again, we win by committee and not by heroism. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And I'll throw it back up top.
Well, give your score. Give your score.
The score, I am going to say 110, 100 LA Clippers.
Clips.
Yeah.
Clips.
Go ahead, H.
With the hope, of course, I hope that I'm 100%
Right,
right.
right.
But that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Watch
Uh,
if I want to hit you.
yeah, I appreciate that because if it's 110 to 100, it means that the Knicks showed up and that they played hard and that they were in the game all the way until the end of the game. Okay, so I appreciate that score. That's what that tells me. I'm gonna give you a score, and then I'm gonna give you some information about the other teams that we are looking.
No. Save the other teams for the next episode. The game is gonna start
Oh,
in
okay.
five
You want to
minutes.
get to the game, huh?
Yeah, brother. Come on now. Let's get the score. Let's call it a night. Hold the cliffhanger for the next episode, brother.
Next, don't worry. The Celtics and the Heat. They got back-to-back games. So anyway, they'll be killing each other, eating each other. In the meantime, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 112 to 102.
Okay.
It's still the same 10 point different.
Right.
Clippers.
Right.
Okay? So 10
And
10.
I'm in the same boat. I was thinking the same thing that Bill said, but just to be a little different, I'll say 109 to 99 Clips.
Okay.
But I say 10-point differential across
Either
the board. Yeah. You know, again, with the caveat that I hope that we are all wrong. We are 100% wrong. That's my hope, is that we're all wrong, and I hope so. I hope so.
Well, some of us were wrong about the
It's okay. It's okay. You've been wrong too. Now you've been wrong too. So don't exclude yourself.
it's my turn to be wrong.
We all need to be wrong on this one because
Yes.
we're picking the Clippers to win.
Yes.
So we all need to be wrong on this one.
Absolutely.
Bill, if you're saying something, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
Yeah.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Right, we've all been wrong. As a matter of fact, we've all been wrong probably more than we've been right.
A toast to be wrong.
Especially today.
Especially today.
Yeah.
Especially today.
Okay.
That is the hope that we're gonna get out of this game today. That we are wrong, and that the Knicks will pull the upset.
Yes.
All right, fellas. With that being said, you know, I want to give you guys the last 3 minutes because it's going to be game time in 3 minutes. So, you know, I want to close this episode out as we do every other episode that we've done this season. And that is, we close it out by saying, once a Knick,
Always.
Always the Knicks.
All right, fellas, we'll chop it up during the game.
Yeah.
Salute.
Salute.
Take out the towels.